Hello humans and welcome to episode 13 of Chef Mike Does Stuff. I am of course Chef Mike. Thank you once again for tuning in and sharing and liking and giving me comments and giving me feedback. I appreciate everything very much. So today might just be the most simple of recipes that I think I've had on the show just far. We are going to make a 2-ingredient ice cream bread. I know I've talked about this before on things like Achievement Hunter and some other interviews that I've done of how easy it is to make this ridiculously simple ice cream bread. First of all, I'm going to be using Ben & Jerry's ice cream. I'm going to probably buy Ben & Jerry's ice cream exclusively now because they are certainly a brand I could get behind. I'm probably going to call this video Ben & Jerry's 2-ingredient ice cream bread because I just love them as people and as a company. So go out and buy Ben & Jerry's. I'm not being paid or promoted by them in any capacity, but I just love them. I will be adding a third ingredient technically to some of them. So I got vanilla ice cream and self-rising flour. You mix those two things together and you make bread out of it. Amazing! In one of them, I'm going to add some sprinkles. Some parts of the United States call them jimmies. I don't know why, but whatever you call them, I'm going to add that to one. The other one, I'm going to add some crushed up, double stuffed golden sandwich cookie, I guess. I don't know if I should say the brand of this one. Don't know, but I'm going to use those and maybe with a little bit of cream in there. And that one, I might add a little extra baking powder. Now, I've never done any of that before or added those kinds of inclusions, so we're going to see how it turns out. So let's get to the cutting board. Let's make some ice cream bread with Ben & Jerry's. All right, the first thing we're going to do, I have 2 loaf pans here. These are standard loaf pans. I'm going to take some butter, and I am going to put butter on all the inside so that way that'll help with any sticking. You can use oil, you could use non-stick pan spray, whatever you so desire, just to keep from your ice cream bread from sticking to the walls. Now, I know a lot of people have been making a lot of bread lately, I know there's a lot of sourdough starters out there and all that. This is a very different kind of bread. I wouldn't call it dense, but it's definitely a little more dense. You're not going to have all those big air pockets. It's going to be a little sweet, but there is no yeast in this. The rising and the leavening comes from baking powder, which is in the self-rising flour already. You could count butter as an additional ingredient, but I am not going to do that because we're not really using it to taste like butter or anything like that. So, we got our pan ready to rock. I've got a bowl. I'm going to add 1 1/4 cup. I'm measuring it out right now. Of self-rising flour. That's ingredient 1. Okay? And 1/4 cup. I'm not being too accurate. I'm not leveling it or nothing. Now let me go into the fridge since I have my handy dandy microphone on. And I got me Ben & Jerry's vanilla ice cream. You could probably do this with most of their ice creams. It works better with full fat, not necessarily like low fat or sugar free. But you can use, like I've seen all the different flavors of theirs being used for this. All right, ingredient 1 is in there. Next ingredient is the 1 pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. This I let thaw in my fridge overnight. Goes into the bowl. Magical, just like that. And now you stir it. I mean, it is so hard to do. This is magical. You might have just heard my air conditioning turn on because I forgot to turn it off. You also might hear my oven beep because I didn't give it enough time to warm up before starting filming the video. What are you going to do? Okay? I'm not even going to mix it that good. This is about as much as I'm going to do. And technically, your bread is ready to go. You could put it in a pan and bake it. But I'm just going to add a little something extra to this one. I'm going to add some sprinkles. or Jimmy's, depending on what you want to call it. I'm going to add, that much looks good. How about I stir it in and see what we got? I might add just a touch more. Just a touch more. Boom. Now, one of the things you'll notice with the next recipe, I'm using those golden cookies, is I'm actually going to add some moisture to those cookies. Sprinkles are basically sugar and fat, so they're not really going to dry up the batter or do anything to it, where cookies, putting that in a bakery type formula recipe like this, there might be some issues with moisture. So I'm going to add some other ingredients to that. But this bread is ready. Put it in this pan here. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Magical. Let me get a spatula to get all the extra stuff out of the bowl. Boom. And just like that, you've got bread. Well, obviously you've got to cook it. That'll take 30 to 40 minutes. I've got my oven set to 350 degrees. It's going to beep any second now, letting me know that it's at 350 degrees. So there's bread 1. Bread 2. I'm going to start with the same exact 1 1/4 cup of self-rising flour. If you do not have self-rising flour, I believe you can use regular all-purpose flour, baking powder, and a little salt, and basically make your own. It's that easy. 1 1/4 cup of the flour. However, this time what I'm going to do, just to see what happens, is I'm going to add some additional baking powder. I'm going to add about that much. 2 teaspoons maybe? Give it a quick mix in, just to make it a little lighter. So this ice cream bread does come out, I mean, I'm not going to say dense, but it's a little more solid than, let's say, your average loaf of bread. So we're going to see if this gives it a little extra rise. Okay. Now I'm going to go get my ice cream, and I'm going to get a little bit of this milk here. Now, what I'm going to do before I mix my ice cream in there is, here's some cookies. I'm just going to crush it up with my hands like so. Your hands are going to get messy. Oh well, what are you going to do? Okay. Don't even have to get it that well mashed up. This is a beautiful opportunity to lick your fingers. Oven's ready. I'm sure you could find a better way to crumble those cookies. You could put them in a Ziploc bag. You could put them in a bowl. Do whatever. Man, that stuff is all over my hands. There should be a little timer on this video showing how much time I'm wasting by not prepping this ahead of time. But what are you going to do? What you going to do? We're just cooking. Doesn't need to have rules. Doesn't need to do, whatever. So now, I'm going to add a little milk to this. I don't know how much milk. How about I turn my sink on? Probably that much milk. Basically what I'm going to do, I'm just softening the crunchy parts, and I just want to compensate for the amount of moisture that the cookies might absorb in this recipe. Okay. Still a little crispier than I want. Like I said, I've never done it this way. We're going to see what happens. Hopefully it turns out delicious. But I want to see you make it. I want to see you what hopefully Ben & Jerry's flavor ice cream you use. I want to see what inclusions you're using. So that's whatever you're going to mix in with it. Take pictures of it. Let me see how it turns out. Hopefully it works. Okay. So I got that cookies right there. Let's go back to this guy. I am opening my preferably Ben & Jerry's delicious ice cream that I thawed overnight in the fridge. Let me get a spoon here, get everything out like so. Beautiful. Ben & Jerry's, you're wonderful humans. All right, Now I'm mixing it. And once again, once this is mixed, you could just put this in the pan and bake it in the oven. But that's not what I am going to do. I'm going to add those golden cookies to the inside of this. Some people might add a little extra sugar in here. You know, maybe make it once, give it a try. Think about the texture, think about the flavor, what you want to change, and then make it again. It's so simple. Make a couple versions. That's R&D. That's how you get really good at doing things or develop a new recipe. All right. Here is that golden Oreo cookie mashed up. I'm going to put that in the bowl as well. Like so. Easily mix that through. I should probably put more cookies in there. Well, I think that'll be, you know what? Let's go for it. Let's go for it. You're witnessing magic happening here as I have not tested this recipe. I have not planned to do this. I'm going to add some more. Come here. I'm basically stealing these from my child, because my child does love it. There you go. Once again, all over my hands. Put that clock back up of how much time I'm wasting. I should just jump cut, but I'm probably not going to do that. That's okay. Mixed in. Whoa. There we go. Once again, we got another one ready to go. I got my greased pan. Pour this all in. There's definitely going to be a little more volume of stuff because I did add a lot of cookies to this. Okay. There we go. So both of these are going to go into the oven for about 350 degrees for about 30 to 40 minutes. We'll check. Maybe it'll take longer. I'll let you know how it turns out when it's done. I will see you in a little bit as we cut these bad boys open. And just like that, we have 2 loaves of Ben and Jerry's ice cream bread. This one over here, just vanilla ice cream, self-rising flour and sprinkles. This one over here, just a Ben and Jerry's ice cream, self-rising flour. I did add a little more baking powder and then some wet golden, I already said it, golden Oreo cookies smashed up in the middle. I'm going to try to turn these out. Hopefully they don't stick, and then we'll see what happens. I mean, that looks awesome. Let's see if it's really hot. I really shouldn't cut these soon, but I'm going to do it anyway. Oh, yeah. Both of these bad boys came out nice and clean. We'll do the sprinkle one. I'll just cut one and let the other one sit. Ooh. Ooh, that's hot. That's hot. So like I said, you could technically do this with just the 2 ingredients. You're going to want to let this cool before you cut it, but I'm breaking my own rules because I'm Chef Mike and that's how I roll. That looks so awesome. Look at this. It's steaming a little because it's super hot, but texture's more, I would say, like a pound cake as opposed to regular bread. But this turned out so good. Oh. Let me try a little bit. Tastes like bread. Success. So what I want you humans to do is make your own ice cream bread. Use whatever flavor ice cream, preferably Ben and Jerry's, but whatever you so desire. Use different flavors, mix in cool things. Man, what else could I do? I've got 2 slices of ice cream bread. And I got some extra ice cream. What would you do What do you call it when you have two pieces of bread and stuff in the middle? What is that? Ice cream sandwich. Look at this. I happen to have more Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Now, I'm doing this on TV. This is really hot right now, so do not do this now. I'm going to do it now, but that's because I just want to. Okay. And then you put another little scoop right there. And then you put another little scoop right there. Now what you do after you fill this with ice cream is you put them back in the freezer to set up. Because you would then have an awesome Ben & Jerry's ice cream bread, Ben & Jerry's ice cream sandwich. Ha ha! That's it. That's all I'm doing for today. I already ate some. I'm going to eat this even though it's hot and melty. Oh, yeah. Oh, that'll be the best homemade ice cream sandwich you've ever made. Once again, thank you so much for liking, sharing, talking about my show, Chef Mike Does Stuff. I'm going to make more. I'm probably going to start doing it every Tuesday. We'll see how that goes. Things are getting a little busy, but make sure to like, share, subscribe, retweet, hit the bell, make newspaper articles about it, and put it in want ads that you want more Chef Mike Does Stuff. I don't know. But make sure you make your own. Tag me in the pictures. I want to see all the tasty things that you guys make. Come up with cool, awesome ice cream bread flavor ideas and all that fun stuff. And once again, remember to subscribe because you are not going to want to miss when Chef Mike does stuff. Okay, nom noms, bye. Look what I can do. Can I do it with my whole hand? Not nearly as cool as this. Whoa. So I did cut open the vanilla or the golden Oreo one, and this one tastes better. It just doesn't look as cool. So maybe one time I might layer the Oreos in there or something, but this one worked awesome as well.